Hello, Roger at Wuthering Heights with the utility outlook here. This is valid the rest of today, Friday, through Thursday, March 26th. Well, the overall weather pattern is quiet, but expect a cold late March weather pattern, especially as we get into Sunday and beyond. Gusty northwest gradient winds could affect us on Sunday afternoon, something we'll watch, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal. We'll see a moderation in temperature eventually as we get into the mid to late part of next week. And that may come with a chance for some rain or wet snow showers associated with that, but no utility issues with that. Travel now could be affected. First with a cold front. This will happen on Saturday afternoon and into the evening hours with snow-coated roads potentially. And again, along about Wednesday night into next Thursday. Other than that, we're not looking at any real major storms, and conditions overall continue quiet. We have a weather system that's tracking off to the south of us. This will bring a little bit of flurry activity of roughly about Rutland and Windsor counties and points south. Really not even enough to hardly affect roads because temperatures are going to be pretty marginal, up around 32, 35, 37 degrees in some locations here. This will give a little bit of snowfall to locations of southern New England as well as back into the cities of New York and then through Philadelphia. The snowfall so far has been relatively light. We're not expecting a whole lot, but here it is. The last full day of winter. Spring equinox occurs at 6:45 p.m. this evening. Looking at the Hardy Har Har model here, you can see that the snowfall starts to work in toward the region, and again, it looks like a southern four counties being affected only. And the overall trend is that a lot of this snowfall is really going to be relatively light and really not affect too many places here, but just a trace amount in some locations. Now, looking at the latest total snowfall here at 15 hours out, this is what we're looking at here. I think these are a little bit overdone, but maybe not. New York City could see 3 to 6 inches, and this looks like it might even be a little bit more hefty on parts of Long Island. Could be real problem in terms of travel to our south. And this is valid Friday afternoon, and you can see that weather system moving south of New England. Not going to be much of a problem for us. A little bit of flurry activity does get into the region, and then a stronger cold front with snow showers and blustery conditions, which pull in some rather cold temperatures. In fact, that's going to be the name of the game, is really some rather cold late March weather headed our way. This is associated with an area of higher pressure that will be tracking across the region, 1028 millibars. This will be valid roughly Tuesday night, and so we're looking at some relatively good project weather as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday. And then as we get into Wednesday, it looks like this will hold out through probably Wednesday afternoon before a little bit of mixed precipitation, mainly just some wet snowflakes and some light rain shower activity starts to move in. And then that changes to all snow as an area of low pressure tracks off, looks like a little bit to the north of the region, but not all models are in agreement. This is a little bit lower confidence. But we are seeing generally colder weather. Eventually, high pressure will build into the region. And looking at precipitable water, this is a relatively dry scenario. Typically coincides with such cold air mass, and that moves into Vermont. So we have much drier than normal conditions, continuing really into March. Now here's that frontal system. It brings a little bit more moisture up. This will be developing again into Wednesday night and Thursday, and then that cold front sweeps it out. If you're a sugar, you've got to be disappointed with some of these cold temperatures lingering here through the month of March and into it looks like the first couple of weeks of April. We'll look at that a little bit later. But this is the 850 millibar hectopascal ice temperatures, and you can see this pink area. This is some mighty, mighty cold air aloft and even down to the surface. So what we'd like to see is this is the 0 degree isotherm and some warmer air eventually get into the region, but it's just kind of infrequent. So you can see this gets in and lands right over us for some really cold weather as we get into basically Sunday night and Monday. And it lingers and then eventually moderates out. You can see that kind of dissipates out, and the lighter sort of shades there of blue. And then eventually we do get some warming. It tries to get in here, and it could be short-lived, but again, that's going to be with that frontal boundary that's bringing in a little plume of extra moisture there. So we do see some rain showers and wet snow shower activity along about Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. And then that system looks like it moves on out. We get some colder weather, but not as cold as the last go around. Good news there. And this is the temperature schematic here, the meteogram. So this is precipitation in these bars. We're not talking about very much, generally light amounts here. This is what's going to happen later in the week for Wednesday night and Thursday of next week. But you can see the temperature kind of incrementally heads up. Looks like we do have warmer temperatures today. And then tomorrow, probably the warmest we're going to see. And then a crash, cold front, Arctic front, lowers those temperatures with highs only in the teens. This is late March, and this is very unusually cold. And we can even see temperatures here being projected below zero. That would be along about, looks like Monday morning and even into Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning. And then temperatures incrementally try to make a rise here. And looks like better conditions, a little bit of a warm up, again with that milder air. Now looking at the GFS model, same kind of deal. Not a whole lot of differences here, very subtle differences. Again, teens, some pretty cold temperatures expected to start on Sunday and into Monday of next week with some Arctic chill, and then temperatures moderate outward. The main areas to watch is this barb here. We're looking at that on Saturday night. There could be some snow squalls associated with that. It could affect travel. And then again, it looks like somewhere along about Wednesday, Thursday, although the GFS is in a little bit of a disagreement. Anything past around 6 days can't really be trusted anyway. And as I mentioned, if you're a sugar, you got to be disappointed. Here's the colder air that comes in for basically late in the weekend, and that maintains colder than normal temperatures. These are running about 5 to 10 degrees below normal in the green here. And we just kind of stay in that pattern. Occasionally we bump up in temperature, but overall eastern North America is on the cold side, and you can see we're running through April 1st. This is April 3rd, and on it goes. We're locked in this weather pattern right now. We got a deep snowpack. There's not a whole lot of things moving. Unfortunately, here we are on the 10th of April, the 11th of April, and a little bit beyond that, it looks like we finally make some progress and warm up. Is it going to happen? We'll see. Here's a recent CFS forecast, the climate forecast system, and basically shows that very cold weather. And this is, according to this, would set some records here. This is centered on Burlington. These are your average temperatures. You can see the lighter gray, and then your max min temperatures. Anything below that, of course, is an extreme, and that would be one of the extremes. So you can see generally colder than normal weather, and it kind of stays in that pattern. This is the 3rd of April, the 4th of April, and finally we start to see a little bit of a coming back into normal or moderation. And as the European model was kind of indicating, it does look like there could be at least moderate temperatures here, some moderation. And then just to move this on, just for kicks, you can see that we're into more or less normal kind of conditions or seasonal conditions, and kind of straddling the line here. Although it still looks a little bit below normal, even longer range. We're talking April 25th, 26th, and into the first week of May. Carrying that a little bit further, you can see May 3rd here. By that point in time, temperatures will be averaging in the 50s for highs and 60s maybe. And you can see even the max range, we're still a little bit on the below normal side, just a continuation of the weather pattern. Is it going to happen? Question mark. So below normal temperatures across a good section of the northern tier, northern plains, stretching across the Great Lakes into the northeast United States. This is fairly significant. It just continues. And then 3 days later, what we're looking at is this pattern. A little bit of a change, a little bit of a minor moderation here. But again, this is all weighted. This is 3 to 7 days out. Again, the west is on fire, just like this winter. And looking at the precipitation, pretty good storminess and some needed rainfall in parts of Northern California. The Sierra should get some snow here. This is more centered, of course, across the Pacific Northwest. And the general storm track will be off to the south through the Gulf coastal states and then off the eastern seaboard. Some of that gets into our neck of the woods from time to time. There will be one weather system that zips across the region. That's the one that will be arriving for the mid to late part of next week. 7-day snowfall as of ending Thursday at 15Z. That's 11 o'clock. 4 inches, 5, 6, 7, 8, so forth. less so on the western parts of Vermont as you might expect. The same thing, Connecticut River Valley, 9 inches having been accrued over the last 7 days atop Mount Mansfield. Checking snow depths, 85 inches, pretty solid. 21 inches my location, 36 inches around Walden Heights in the Standard Mountains. And you can see some pretty good amounts here. Great for snowmobilers and snow travelers, but folks are getting a little bit sick of it. And again, this has a feedback effect, bringing colder than normal weather. And last but not least, here's your meteogram once again looking at precipitation. This will be the system that comes in on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, under 2/10 of an inch of precip. This is the GFS ensemble model. And then not a whole lot going on with relatively decent project weather until we get into that sort of Wednesday night, Thursday, of which we could see even a little bit of rain, and the green is highlighted there. This does not look like it's going to be a big system, however. It zips on through pretty quickly. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting.